never get limitations on how much individual candidates can spend. Right now, the laws exist say there's limitations on how much you can give to an individual candidate. There are no limitations on how much each individual candidate can spend. So there will never be a ceiling for how much people can spend. So someone in the extreme, like Bloomberg, can spend $90 million of his personal fortune to run for office, and no one can stop that. That'll never change. What you want is you want in each political system to have a floor. So you say, if media saturation in the state of New York for the U.S. Senate seat is $25 million, you want to make sure that each time, every 6 years that person runs for the Senate, every eligible candidate gets $25 million minimum to have media saturation. So that if their opponent raises more money, that's the way it goes. But at least you have enough to have media penetration around the state. And you don't have to raise money and be beholden to corporate money and individual money. I think ceilings, floors rather, are what you need, and you need public financing. Public financing of campaigns is what's important. Like, for example, discounts or free media from the media companies in terms of the airwaves, and the TV is the predominant way of advertising for elections. That notion of them giving free airtime that doesn't really exist anymore. They kind of let go of that idea.
Does that sometimes, you know. I watch C-SPAN, they show their lectures and debates, and it's free, you know.
I think the number of people in this country who get their political information from C-SPAN is very limited, unfortunately.
Most of the local broadcasters channel, like BCAT.
Yeah, there are some of those channels are, those are important to give you information, but I think that the problem is that the corporations that have taken over the media companies have made sure that the rules have been changed, where you have the debates that you have on there now, and those debates they're important. They're not meaningless. It's not enough. You need for someone like you or anybody here who decides they want to run, and they get a groundswell of support, and they have enough signatures, and they have a real meaningful candidacy, and if they have enough signatures on a petition, they become eligible for some degree of financing from public dollars. And they don't have to go and sell themselves to corporations and so forth like that. I think that's one of the big problems we have. The truth of the matter is we have so many problems now. It's hard to.
That's why we can't have
we don't have an answer.
Too many demands that we can think of.
But I think one problem you would address that would begin potentially to solve many problems is the campaign finance reform issue. That's really the linchpin. In my opinion, the linchpin of all domestic problems in this country, political problems, is campaign financing. And I think the linchpin of all of our foreign problems is energy consumption. If we weren't going, we wouldn't be doing most of what we do around the world if it weren't for oil. And if you had a fair, people in this country want cheap gas, and they live under the illusion that gasoline is $4 or $5 a gallon, and when it reaches $5 a gallon, everybody gets upset, and they're not really confronting the fact that the gasoline that they're buying really costs them $105 a gallon. This is all the money you paid in taxes that went to the Defense Department to go fight a war overseas to get that oil for you. So the actual price that you pay for oil in this country is far more than you pay at the pump, and people are pretending that isn't reality, and that needs to change as well.